I mean, Terrace, if you woke up tomorrow and you were worth $5 million, would you even keep going, or are you just gonna call it a sesh?
$5 million is a good amount.
But I mean, imagine the devastation of only having $5 million. It would be a sad day, right?
Kind of brutal. I mean, like.
Imagine.
I mean,
you have to go for like typical
yes.
yachts without a movie
Kinda.
theater now? Like, what else are you gonna do?
All right, 200.
I actually have a funny story about that, by the way.
Yachts in the movie theater?
Yeah.
And from
it would
another
be
person
sad.
that stole from me.
Yes.
Yes, about yachts.
Do you think people think you're good to steal?
What am I?
Lots of people have stolen from Jungleman. Hearing a lot of different people today.
There's you guys ever see this Instagram super slutty snake?
No.
It's actually
I
kind
don't
of
go on
brilliant.
Instagram.
Yeah, I don't have Instagram. So.
It's actually pretty funny. Like she's
34.
brilliant. So he makes fun of these lifestyle models that will like go with and people of like extravagant lifestyles, and it's probably the perfect way possible.
This hand from the Lodge for Weekly Poker Hand is a doozy. Make sure you stick around to the end because it gets weird. We are playing 50, 100, 200 at the Lodge. Viper, under the gun, +2. Opts to limp, playing roughly $90,000 deep with the Ace-King offsuit. I'd probably raise it up, but whatever. Jungleman, Dan Cates the farmer. He's trying to farm some money out of this game today. He raised it up to $1,000 with pocket jacks. Terrace, in the big blind. He has the 9-4 diamonds. I thought he was going to fold, but he didn't. He opted to instead 3-bet to $3,400. Sure, we're in Texas. You can do whatever you want. He's sowing some seeds. Let's see if the farmer collects them. Viper opts to just call, which is probably prudent when you limp and it goes raise and 3-bet. Sure. Over to Jungle. Probably okay to call. In position. Playing $64,000 deep for him. Let's go to the flop.
One post he made was about these like models that will get invited on yachts, and the post will be about.
You're in position.
I know.
Trips for Terrace here.
Was about like the yacht. They get invited on lots of yachts, right? So the joke was, this model was complaining that she got invited on a yacht that only had a movie theater. It was only like 40 feet long and blah blah blah. She fell in love with like a 120-foot yacht with a tennis court inside and like this massive movie theater and God knows what else, and like the marble fountain.
You can look at that. I'm fold.
And I was explaining this to a model.
Jungle is in a hand.
This kind of person.
A model of sorts.
The flop comes 10 of hearts, 9 of hearts, 9 of clubs. Terrace somehow flops 3 of a kind with the 9-4 suited. All right, whatever. He opts to go for a $4,500 bet, which is a little bit less than half pot, which I think is fine and good. I mean, look, I may bet a little bit bigger because we're in Texas and the board's very draw heavy, and apparently Terrace is a little bit loose end badly every once in a while. Maybe bet 6,000 just to get a little bit more money in the pot, but 4,500 is perfectly fine. This is not a spot to check in Texas. When you flop a really good hand, you just want to bet and get money in the pot. Viper realizes this is not his board. He ditches it. And then Jungleman, with his pocket jacks, has a pretty easy call. You may think, shouldn't he raise because he wants to make sure he gets protection from hands like Ace-King, Ace-Queen, King-Queen? I mean, yeah, that has some merit. The problem, though, is that when he is against aces, kings, queens, tens, a random 9-4 suited, he really, really, really does not want to get stacked. So, call and see what develops. Let's go to the turn.
She's like a connector / one of the people that gets invited on these yachts, and she's very good at networking, and she's quite shrewd about it. So I told her the story, and she's like, yeah, like this yacht that I was invited on right now with this billionaire, it's not that nice. We were on a yacht as I was talking to her. She's complaining that it's like, yeah, it's whatever. With it did have a movie theater, by the way, and it was pretty damn nice. Like multiple rooms and.
Well, but think about it like this. Are you familiar with the term sensory adaptation?
Yes.
Okay, so if you're living a life in 80-foot movie theater yacht rooms,
15,000.
and then one day you wake up and you're forced to live in a 40-foot movie theater
Terrace
yacht
bets
room.
15,000.
It's a beat.
I mean, it is.
Right? It's gonna take a little bit to like adapt to that. You know.
I mean, I
It's a
agree.
lifestyle change.
It'll be tough here, Jungle, with the overpair.
Jungle is very impressive to me. He seems
It's
he
the
has
call.
two
The turn is the 6 of clubs. 8-7 gets there. Terrace does not care. He goes for a $15,000 bet straight up for value. I love this. Again, he may want to go even a little bit bigger given the board now has 2 flush draws. But hey, whatever. 15,000 is great. Try to extract value from Jungle's overpairs and top pairs and draws. Facing the $15,000 bet, Jungle has no choice but to call. At least in my opinion, even though his drawing almost dead. Let's go to the river.
He's the only player I was thinking like he could play a huge part and he's still talking to someone else on the side. So he has 2 brains.
Oh, I've seen people do that.
Yeah, one brain, it's hard though.
Yeah.
Normal people would like, oh, he's in the hand.
What do you mean by normal people?
Most people, someone you don't talk to because he's in the hand, right? But he's like, oh, he's talking to you and it's a play hands. Yeah, two brains. How could you have a 3-2-1 edge against a player who has 2 brains?
Terrace checks here.
The river is the 5 of clubs, which is certainly an annoying card for Terrace because the backdoor flush comes in. That said, he still pretty much has the nuts. I would have just ripped it in and put Jungle in for his $40,000, but Terrace decides to check, which I think also does have some merit because if you think Jungle will bluff with a lot of his busted draws, like the overcard gut shots or with the heart flush draws, this is a pretty good play because if you bet, he's just going to fold out all of those, right? But if you check, it gives him the chance to bluff. And if you give Jungleman a no showdown value hand at the river, he knows how to bluff. He'll go for it some portion of the time. The problem, though, is that if Jungle has a hand like a 10 or an overpair, he probably would have found a hero call against the all-in, given, again, a lot of the front door draws missed. And if you check, he may not go for value with them. Like, imagine Jungleman sitting here with King 10. He's just going to let it check back and not lose any more money. But if you jam, he would have paid off a lot of the time. So there are benefits and downsides to checking. If you think Jungleman has a lot of busted draws, obviously check. If you think he has a lot of made hands that will check it back, obviously value bets. Facing the check, let's see if Jungle gets greedy.
Here comes the bet from Jungle.
That's 21,000.
21,000.
Jungleman does go for greed. He's trying to get a few more crops out of the field. He goes for a little bit less than half pot. He bets $21,500. Pretty easy call for the 9-4, right?
Well, I'm not. Yeah, I'm definitely not raising here. You guys want to see what I have?
What is it?
Terrace shows his hand.
Is that good enough, Jungleman? Come on, give me some sort of signal. Wink, or do something.
I just don't know what you're thinking about.
I'm thinking about calling.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you could have clubs. Is it stupid? Like, is it an obvious call?
I mean, I think you should just put your chips in already.
One player to a hand terrace, one player to a hand.
Is it an obvious call? Like, am I being stupid? Like,
One player to a hand terrace.
I can't tell if you're like actually asking.
No. I'm actually considering folding. But is it stupid to consider that? Like, am I that bad? Like, I don't know. I mean, you could have a higher 9 than me, like ace 9. You got pocket 10s.
John, watch the hand.
God, but you're convincing me to call you. And that scares me a little, actually. Like, your speech makes me want to fold. Come on, Doug. Doug, can you help me? Like, what would you do, Doug? Like,
One player to a hand terrace. You can ask Jungle if you want.
okay, Jungle. I need some help here.
The only person that can help you is Jungle, if he so chooses to.
I mean, okay, I'm leaning to a call. I mean, I have trips. This is probably the best hand I had.
Now
all night.
Efan lets them take their time, huh?
I'm not calling a clock at Taras.
You can call the clock. You know what? Call the clock.
I'm not.
Okay, I'll call the clock on myself.
Call the clock on yourself.
Call the clock on me. Okay. Clock. I want the clock.
How many minutes you got now?
I want the clock, okay? Because
I'll tell you, I didn't think you were going to fold that.
Got a 30-second clock.
okay, 30-second look. Because I'm gonna
Terrace
sit here
calling
for
the
10
clock
minutes,
on himself.
Waste everybody's time. I want a clock that'll speed it up a little bit.
Yes to all answers.
Yes, call in.
God damn it! Like seriously?
He's facing 21-5, and he would like a 30-second clock on him.
30-second clock.
Call the clock on yourself.
30 seconds, every 30
That's
seconds.
great television.
Yep.
So Terrace turns his hand up, calls the clock on himself, shows his 3 of a kind, and Jungle immediately announces, I didn't think you're going to fold that. Do you think that this is him trying to somehow convince Terrace to fold this hand? Or do you think he honestly can't believe he's sitting there thinking with 3 of a kind? Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. And while you're there, click the like and subscribe button, please.
God. Can you do a countdown when it's 10 seconds?
10 seconds.
So close. Kind of close.
10 seconds. 5.
Call.
He makes the call.
So fast, man. Spin.
Terrace.
No.
No, I have never
Terrace.
fold 9-4. You meant 9.
Terrace.
Yeah.
What I bet.
What are we doing?
That was a
I mean, I
3 of a kind.
I thought I had the best hand. I don't know why.
Three
Fuck, that was
nines.
such
but there's
bad
a
bet.
flush out
You
there.
have 3 nines.
There's a
You
flush.
gotta go run or
On
run.
the 4-bet pot, you have 3 nines.
I tried to get him
He's
to
a
fold.
master at telling.
After a long clock and a ton of thought, Terrace finds, what in my mind, is a trivially easy call. Don't go around folding 3 of a kind against the Jungleman. And he scoopaloops a humongous pot. Jungleman's thinking, why did I value bet? But to be fair, I think it's probably an okay value bet. This is a spot where if Terrace does have a 10, he's going to call. The problem, though, is if his range to check the river is busted draws, which are going to fold, or maybe aces, kings, queens, jacks, ace 10, king 10, queen 10, I'm not sure there are enough hands that you can extract value from. Plus, every once in a while, he's going to be trapping you with a random 9 or some super nut hand. So maybe a little bit of greedy value, but I certainly don't fault Jungle for going for it. He is known to get the maximum amount of money out of every pot, and sometimes, when you value bet, it does not work out. Terrace scoops a huge pot, and Jungle has to go back to work. I'll talk to you next time.